Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reimagine 2021. This is our eighth event, and the theme for this event is state of the art chain. So it's all about NFTs, content creators, and we're doing something different this time. My name is Roshan Mirajkar. I'm the project manager of Reimagine 2021. I'm really excited to have a returning guest here. With me here today, I have JD Salbego. He's the CEO at AnRKey X. JD, welcome back to the show, and I think it would be great to get started. Let's talk about the last time we interviewed you, what stage you were at, and then let's also go into kind of your background, like how did you get into the space a bit, and leading up to now, and then we'll get more into the details. But thanks.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, you guys were literally the first conference I did with the company. We'd either I don't even remember. It was literally I think at the end of September last year. It was so early on. I'm all about kind of just crazy. I mean, like when I build companies, it's a sprint, right? We're in technology. You're always adapting minute by minute. Everything's a sprint, lean startup. Just throw it out there, right? And literally, I had to make our logo on Canva just to be able to prepare it for your conference, which became the logo you see in the top, that corner right up there. That's how early on we did this conference. I just, I'm kind of spiritual. I was like, if I'm getting hit up to do a conference right now because someone spread it through the industry because we were stealth for 2 months, then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take that as a sign. Screw it. So 2 minutes, I put together our logo on Canva and gave it to you guys, and there we go. And since then, it's been a wild roller coaster, 24/7 work, and a lot of great stuff has happened. We're very grateful, and it's all coming to a head over the past month, once we finally got to releasing the product, the development, and we'll probably go more into that. I'm sure you'll ask me questions. Um, I'm a little tired, so I think I missed one of your questions. It was
Oh
twofold,
yeah,
wasn't
no,
it?
just to start off, like how it's all good. You know how
Yeah,
crypto is 24/7, but how did you sort of get into the space? I think
that's
you
what
have
it
a
was.
I think you have a unique background compared to like most people.
Yeah, no, it's funny, man. Like I was in the music and entertainment business for 17 years. I started when I was 17 years old because I grew up right in Los Angeles. I was Snoop Dogg's head engineer at his record label he used to have when I was 21 years old. I worked with Usher, Jimmy Iovine, which if you guys don't know who that is, you'll probably know him by Beats headphones with Dr. Dre. He's the one who created that with Dr. Dre and sold it to Apple. He's like one of the biggest hip hop label owners. I mean, I can go down the list of all the people I worked with by the time I was 20, 21. And, I had a record label, Warner Music Group. I worked with some of the biggest celebrities in the world. Started merging into more entertainment tech and eventually crypto, which I fell in love with back about 2010, but I already had a successful career. Finally merged into that officially around 2015, 16. And it was pretty much game over, man. I fell down that rabbit hole that led me into, funny enough, pure investment banking. I left the creative kind of, entertainment music industry, even though it was business too, but it was all working with creativity and stuff. I used to actually be an artist, not only from the music producer songwriter part, but when I was growing up until about 18, I was an urban and graffiti artist. I still have a mural up, so I've always been a creative. Left that when I got into crypto, fell into investment banking, no joke, literally. And I was one of the top, advisors doing ICO advising. A lot of companies were bringing me on as COO to launch the companies because that's what I was good at, going to market, growth, communication, fundraising. That organically because I was kind of the face of these companies. And as you know, our industry is all about conferences, at least it was, right? During pre-COVID, I was speaking at every conference, and that organically led to me becoming kind of an influencer in this industry and interviewing, Bloomberg, NASDAQ, you name it, man. NYSE. I'm a contributor on Cointelegraph for a long time, and I got into this. I'm really spiritual, you know what I mean, as I think I already talked about. So I look at this company as a spiritual almost experience, to be honest, for me, because I'm back doing art. Like I'm literally, I say the art director because it's almost funny to me. I put that in my title because literally I am. I'm head of product and art. Everything you see in the background, I literally either design personally or I oversee it and I create all the the breakdowns, design concepts, and then hand them over to our design teams, our game studio, and everything. But I started out, I was running a crypto exchange out of Singapore, and I started seeing the DeFi boom all of a sudden at the beginning of last year, which I believe COVID, right, kind of amped this up with Compound coming up with a really unique way. Sorry, that was a bird if you heard that in the background. A little chirp, if you were wondering what the hell that was, for our viewers. Compound came in this crazy way for liquidity mining, right, off of Uniswap. And, it's a genius. It's inception, right? It's a big circle. It's like the Origamos, the snake that eats itself, whatever that is, right? That's what liquidity mining is, literally. It's free money. There's no purpose with it. But I saw something really interesting what was happening from a consumer product innovation standpoint there, and it's very nascent stage long. But the Uniswap and all that stuff and the AAMs is absolutely genius. I mean, those logic and economic models are wow, right? So I saw that, but I saw this whole other industry that was merging off of that with liquidity mining. And I felt like there was obviously I was like, there's a need for a use case. This will never sustain. That's why every project lasts for 2 months or 3 months that gives away tokens. That's all it is, free money, dude. I saw NFTs kind of teasing they were way back, which I really liked them, but I never saw a scalability with them. I never saw a real use case. I never saw utility built into them. So all I did was, while I was running the exchange, I went heavy on research and development. I hired an analyst, and me and him just literally lived inside every community, literally, that was going on with decentralized finance, and like looking at what was going on. What is this technology? How are the users behaving? What are their needs? What are their wants? How are they getting monetized? How are they not getting monetized? Where is this real use case going to go, especially on liquidity mining and decentralized finance, and certain aspects of that? And through that, I found that gamification was the biggest use case with liquidity mining and a lot of the decentralized finance, because it's action and reward based, right? It's incentivized through actions, a need for a reward. That's all it really is. And it's a set of processes you have to do. What is that? That's called gaming, right? And through really living in these channels, which I've always kind of, I didn't really put it 2 and 2 together really until I started searching. But what the communities in crypto have been doing since the day one, and what you saw, especially right now with this decentralized finance and the liquidity mining aspect, esports was happening all around us. And no one even noticed it, except I did. I'm not saying I'm God, Jesus, or fucking Einstein. We have literally been doing this since the dawn of crypto esports. And it's proven, not only when our game launches in a month, in our stuff's in our beta test starts tomorrow, but it'll be proven again when our game launches in a month and everyone sees what we're talking about. It was proven with the GameStop incident. And that shows you, because that's what crypto, even though crypto's legal, and what they did with GameStop was illegal. Let me make very clear when I say that. I'm doing the Richard Nixon thing. I should not say that. That fucking guy. I'm laughing at myself right now. What they did with GameStop was completely illegal. But within crypto, we were talking about a utility token and communities getting together to create strategies of how to utilize a token more within a protocol, within a usage, this and that. So that's literally what we've been doing, and it became even more incentivized. The behavior became more extreme and incentivized through decentralized finance, and that's what I saw was that happening, man. And that's how we built this. It was literally all I was trying to do was solve a problem and create a solution. Literally, that was it. And somehow I ended up doing gamified liquidity mining with esports and some very unique NFT models. Our NFT models, no one's doing anything near what we're doing. Everyone creates NFTs that are just collectible. Okay, their utilities fall off and stall at an airdrop.
Yeah. So for our users out there, can you sort of explain why what you're building is different? Like for our viewers out there, it's really interesting how you're building a decentralized finance and gaming platform and like an exchange. So I think a lot of the new people coming in, they just see NFTs and they immediately associate them with art. So can you kind of explain how you're merging both of these things together? And what do you think is the future of, I guess, not only this industry, but like, do you think that gaming could bring in a bunch of new people, but they don't see it as like a crypto product? Like, do you think it can just be like a new market? I'm kind of talking about people in the world that use things like gaming to just do it full time and sustain the economy, right? That's the most interesting thing I found. Like, I feel like that's what you're really building, like a community, economy. So can you kind of explain the differences between, the NFTs on your platform, why they're different? And yeah, definitely let's dive into the utility of it. Like, I want to actually use this technology. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there was about 5 questions in that one, so let me try to get them all down. First of all, for the people who are new, non-fungible token is an NFT. A fungible token is an FT, which we don't say that, but you can look at Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum as a fungible token. There is nothing unique about two Bitcoins at all. There is something unique about a non-fungible token. And some genius company called Engine created, right? The 1171 and all those other ones. And what that is basically a non-fungible token has a special unique code and ID inside of this contract. All a token is a contract, literally. That's all this is. So Bitcoin, two Bitcoins are exactly the same. They are not unique. But when you have that unique code in it, which is a non-fungible token, the 721, we can also go to other layers, which is not worth going into. There is an 1155, which is called a parent to 721, and then 1155 is the child. They are all unique, but also tied to the parent. That's a whole other story, but it is unique. So what that means is this digital asset, it could be art, it could be a game card, it could be a widget, as they say in business school. It could be nothing. It just is a contract that is unique, and wherever that goes, you can retain ownership and rights to that and transfer it safely, transparently, and publicly. Now, what that means is, well, first of all, if you go back to early crypto, the first use case that actually started was gaming. And you know why? Because gaming was the most frictionless industry, number one, to get into, and the one that had one of the biggest use cases, which was skins and digital assets, weapons, swords, skins that all game companies use. But guess what? You can't transfer them safely because they could be duplicated. There is no unique code inside. So I'm trying to get to all the rest of the 4 questions or three. I think I got one of them right there. So realistically, how ours are different. We have a proprietary technology and economic NFT engine, and what's underneath that in our whole game ecosystem, excuse me, is a derived base value architecture. That's another proprietary thing that we own and created. And what we have created is a self-sustaining and self-incentivizing game and NFT economy. So all our reward-based games is how you win, right? You win rewards, which is our utility token AnRKey, which is our arcade coin, and you win, and all our NFTs. What's it called? Generate APY. They generate yield. Not only our collectibles, but we have 3 other different kind of models within our games. But the base value is one of the. I could go on forever, man. To be honest, you asked a question that's like, well, how do I actually? Our stuff is so easy to play, but sometimes so complicated to really get in. If you start asking what this really is, there's layers beyond layers beyond layers, man. But basically, what we did, which was one of the solutions that I worked on for scalability, true economic supply and demand, and fair market pricing of NFTs, was to build a derived base value. Because all of these people do. How do you value an NFT? It's
Right.
all speculation. What makes this NFT, this art, this game card, this animated fucking frog, or this or this new Cara Delevingne piece of artwork with all this stuff covered on her face that someone's spreading around Rarible right now that looks really kind of disrespectful and evocative, if you know what I mean. What makes that worth $20 or $1,000? What makes Beeple worth $86 or $89 billion. Let's be real there right now.
I
No
think
one
it's
has a fucking
yeah,
idea. It's all
we just don't
bullshit.
know.
Let me just say that it's all fucking bullshit. I'll tell that straight up right now in this interview. You can keep my cuss words. It's all bullshit. It's just hype. Okay, so let's realistically, how do you sustain a market that's complete bullshit? You can't. There's no market in the world that is sustainable based on pure BS. You know
So
why?
what
There's
are some of the
Hold on,
so
I'm
what are
getting to it right now. Hold on, let me
go
get to this
ahead.
because it's a real epic point here that I'm getting to. And this will be mind blowing if you actually really, really, really listen to it. There's no sustainability in those economic models because there's nothing to add that there's no if you look at what creates an economic system, right? What is the fiat model that governments are based upon, right? Economic supply and demand, cost of goods being sold in the economies and people agreeing on a set price. When you have these things that are just made up numbers because someone thinks that, there is no economic supply and demand underneath it. There's nothing supporting it. You will not have enough parties agreeing consistently and either linear or some other scalability to drive in a market of a scale, economies of scale. That's what you're going to run into, the problem. So, real quick, because I know it's long-winded, but you're the one who asked me 4 questions in one question. We created derived base value that is literally 100% accurate and fair market pricing because the rewards driven by our game that you win, the price of our NFTs that we sell them at, the amount of yield that they generate in the game is based upon how many users are playing our game, how much money is being spent for in-game purchases of NFTs, how much per user, per team of the yield is being generated, what's the total prize winning generation of the team, what is our token price, and a few other extra variables, some proprietary stuff. These are the floating variables that is basically a fiat model. Just how the United States government and other countries create how do they value a dollar on the fiat model. We created actually more accurate. You know why? Because we're not corrupt governments. We actually do this on blockchain. So whatever's being spent, whatever our token price is being there, however many users are there, is all on the blockchain, 100% transparent. That gives the price of a derived base value. It's super crazy stuff, man. But what it does is creates for the first time, a user now can play a game for free, earn money, and also be incentivized to grow the earnings in the price of their digital assets because the more they play, recruit members, stake, trade the token, everything grows, the economic value of it. It's a self-sustaining system.
Yeah, I think you just created like one of the first most transparent like trading economies, like a transparent digital economy. That's super interesting. Thanks for. I think that's going to be an important soundbite to replay how you just compared and contrasted like how they traditionally do things, and I think that's really awesome. For everyone listening, I would definitely replay this segment because it's very true what you're saying. No one has been able to really explain the valuations or yeah, even how to also interact with a lot of these different NFTs. Most people I talk to just see it as collectibles. So I love how you're talking about the utility and also further than that, just the market. So to put this in perspective, at AnRKey X, you guys over the last 30 days, you guys have had like some of the top 10 NFT sales volume in the entire world, even with new big entrants like Mark Cuban. So what lies in the future for you now in terms of like, are you getting ready to roll out new features? Any predictions you can make just in terms of like, what do you want people to focus on your platform the most, basically?
Well, it sounds like you want some exclusive private news. So if you do that, you got to buy our last NFT set, which gave you access to the Anarchist Special Forces news channel. Only private NFT holders of those ones get that access. But I can give you a little tease. I know I'm complete joking, but we do have the Special Forces, and that is one of our utilities. But no, man, I mean, we have been literally building organically. Like we are a community. We have over 50,000 in our community across our Discord, Telegram, and News and Twitter. We call it the homie zone, right? Our Discord chat. I'm in all our channels. The CEO If you go look at our Telegram right now, me and 3 of our admins are bullshitting back and forth, having fun. All our community members, we know most of them by name. They know us by name. We do AMA Twitches. We call them out. We have a very, very tight, close relationship with our community. That is the reason why we sell. Secondly, and the product is great and you derive value from it and it's fair and accurate and stuff like that. But what we have right now coming up is, yeah, we just started launching all our first out of the 4 different NFT kind of models that we have within our game economy. We started launching the collectibles that also are game cards. They're like what we've done is taken Pokemon Magic game cards, right, the traditional world, and what we've done is gamified them with DeFi tokenomics and esports, meaning that we've taken these physical cards, some of them digital, and merged them into, this is part of the NFT engine, and merged them into DeFi tokenomics for yield generation, staking capabilities, and a bunch of other stuff. So we have coming up now, finally after 6.5 months, what you see in the background, that's one of our cities in our flagship game, Battle Wave 2323, which is basically gamified liquidity mining, esports, and NFTs, right? You purchase, play, stake, and compete with in DeFi liquidity mining with your teams, and you can earn valuable rewards, and stake NFTs, purchase in-game items and stuff. We also have a mini game, literally a mini game inside our game. You're shooting airplanes. No one's done that before with straight DeFi, NFTs, and reward-driven stuff. We start the public beta test this Monday coming up, the 26th. We have over 15,500 registered users that have signed up. We've done a lot of development on this. Our team have done a lot of stuff, not only within crypto, but for our game team and some of our senior leads and C-suite people have worked with Pokemon, Terminator, Sony, Final Fantasy, you name it. Other ones is Goldman Sachs, Disney, Walt Disney. I myself, like I said, had a record label on the entertainment industry, worked with Disney myself, YouTube, Shazam, Today's Show, NBC, doing a lot of content, and then everything else in crypto. And so we have a three-week rollout while Certic's auditing right now the game. We have a 3-week rollout till we launch in about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on the audit, right? If there's any little things they want us to tweak. We got 2 weeks starting on Monday of public beta testing with 50 chosen winners from that 15,500 that registered users. The 3rd week have a ton of DeFi influencers that have signed up that love our project, fully behind it. They are publicly testing. So we have a lot of major campaigns coming up to the game launch 3 to 4 weeks. Very exciting. We have a new celebrity division that we launched about a month ago that is gearing up. We have a whole new executive team. It's a subdivision under AnRKey X. We have a whole new executive team from Hollywood who have worked with all the biggest studios. Some have signed some of the biggest rock bands in the world. Our president of music, our president of Latin music as well, one of the top Latin market managers, is a Grammy-winning producer himself. You name it. We have an all-star new executive team just helping me with the celebrity division. We already have about 5 celebrities signed up. We have a big splash coming with that too. It's nonstop over here right now. We have a lot of PR going on in Hollywood as well. That's gearing up too, not only in crypto. So we have a very busy next 2 months, 3 months, and God, probably the rest of my life with this company. So it's okay. I'm single, not married, no kids. So all I do is work, and it makes me happy. So well, I guess that's my.
No, that's super interesting that you kind of have a background with interacting with celebrities, and now you're also fusing that into the platform. I want to get into that a little
If you
bit
saw
too.
my phone right now, dude, I don't even talk to most of them anymore. Some of them I haven't talked to, and some of them I still have best friends who are literally the president of the biggest label, right? I have best friends who are celebrities themselves, and some of them I haven't talked to in 7 years or 5 years or 2. Most of them I keep on my newsletter so they all know what I'm doing because some of these relationships go back 20 years. But if you saw who's in my Rolodex, most people would just flip out. Who I can call.
Would you say it's a change in perception that all these celebrities are wanting to make their own NFTs or kind of create their own brand extension, or is it more about a transfer of power, if that makes sense? Like a lot of these celebrities or artists, they want to break out of the people that own their rights. Like which one do you think it is more so?
It's both. Money rules the world. I mean, come on, let's be real. We're in a boom right now. Who doesn't want to make a lot of money right now? I mean, do you want to join a business that makes you $5? You want to join a business that makes you $100, right? But what you see though, because the beauty of the non-fungible tokens, with the celebrities, and most of them right now are driven by music artists, right? But when you see with let's forget about the whole art thing, but let's go into celebrities and stuff. Yes, there is the whole rights ownership too, but what there also is a very huge problem that stems from the first problem of the Web 2.0, which is what blockchain solves Web 3.0, the transfer of value that the Web 2.0 cannot do. So every digital copy, hence why the music industry got completely disrupted, hence why the movie and TV industry got insanely disrupted. The only reason why it didn't get disrupted by as much as the music industry, you know why? It's called internet bandwidth. Because all it took to disrupt the music industry was downloading a 3 megabyte file, maybe a 40 megabyte file if you wanted an AAIF, right? Now try downloading a movie file, right? You guys all know that, or TV file, 5 gigs, 10 gigs, 1 gig. That's a bandwidth problem, which led to a lot of websites cannot handle that type of stuff. It's just a whole different friction model, right? But that is why you see a lot of celebrities, the other side to that, other than making a lot of money, because we're in a boom, just like a stock market boom, everyone and their mom wants to get in, is that now you can actually transfer value. Do you know how genius an NFT is? Do you know, thank God for, what's his name? I'm so tired right now. Ethereum, what's his name? Vitalik, right?
Vitalik.
Thank God for the whole Ethereum crew creating a smart contract. Because you know what you can do with an NFT? And this is genius, and I love telling the celebrities this shit, especially the music ones, because they're like, wow, I never want to release anything with a label ever again. Screw iTunes or anything. You know why? Because a smart contract is a hard-coded automated contract that is digital, that executes based on logic, right? So you type in this thing on layman's terms. Remember, I'm not a CTO, but I know this stuff enough to be deadly, and I hire great people. A smart contract will say this NFT is a music and image file or video file, right? It's a song. I'm going to mint this. I'm going to say it's worth $10. I'm going to say that, you know what, as the rights owner, right, of this, I want 10% every time it goes somewhere else and it's sold. You code that in there. It's quite easy nowadays, or a lot easier. And whenever that is sold without any human interference, no middlemen, no transfer agent, no SWIFT, no credit card fees, not private, completely public, 10% of that transaction goes automatically back to your wallet, and so on and so on and so on and so on in perpetuity. Now you get to the music business, that we talk about rights for music, royalties, fuck. That's like one of their bane of their existence. You know how much money is left behind? Even the biggest labels in the world can't track all the money that is generated off of their music rights across streaming platforms in Indonesia, streaming platforms in Bulgaria, physical CDs in Bulgaria, right? You know how hard it is? I know, because I was in that business. I'm still published by one of the biggest publishers own rights and administrate to song properties, right? So that's the other beautiful part about NFT. And I want to explain this really quick, because this usually really blows people's mind. Because when everyone says NFT, everyone's like, oh my God, art or gaming. Let's cut all that away and let's look at what an NFT really is. It's a unique ID that can be securely, transparently transferred publicly from peer to peer. Unique, never destroyed. So NFTs with art, these are just an easy thing for our brain as human beings and something exciting to use. It's an easy use case. Oh, I'll just throw a music record up. I'll throw a video up, anyone and their mom. But do you know, as we know, what blockchain really is? Blockchain is the Web 3.0. That's what this really is, the transfer of value. That's what blockchain is. Without anything else, that's the number one definition. Now, what does that mean for NFTs? That guess what? When the world starts converting to Web 3.0, everything is on the blockchain. It will happen, but it'll probably be 10, 20 years. Think of having to, change the entire web around the world and every infrastructure, every JavaScript, every program, we have everything. No, maybe it's 50 years. When that does happen, though, for an easy use case, every lawyer, every legal document, right, is instead going to not be stored on your traditional hard drive on a Word document. That will be an actual smart contract. And that will, you know what, and how, hold on, and how do you save copies and drafts of that legal agreement that goes through 10, 20 rounds of negotiations, 3 rounds? How do you protect those unique drafts in your database? Guess what?
You can't.
No, that's what an
Which,
NFT does.
yeah,
It has a
exactly. That's what
unique code. Well, sorry. Well, how are you going to do that? Yes, with NFT technology. NFT, just like blockchain, has use cases across the board. It comes to down to transfer of value. Obviously, you have smart contracts, but that's what it is. So NFTs, that is the future. It's not just art. It's not gaming. It's not any of this shit. All this is unique digital value that can now be stored, transferred, and traded peer to peer publicly, and it's always immutable, never can be tampered with. You know what I mean? Unless you got the quantum computer hacks, and who knows? That's whatever. You know. But yeah, that's the beauty of NFTs, man. If you want to take it out of the hype realm, take it out of this, that comes down to the core. Is that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I love how you're keeping it so real, because that's what we like to highlight too, just in our conference series. And I think that's how people learn. I always tell people the space, like the velocity that the space moves at is just too fast
Hmm.
in comparison to wheeled out like all the scams or like unsustainable things. So yeah, not to get even more specific, let's continue to talk about this a bit. Like, why do you think blockchain is the right technology for what you're building? Like, do you even think it would be possible with all of the economies you're creating if you use traditional finance in
No,
any
no,
way?
no. We need the basis of the utility token. We need to be able to trade it publicly, fastly, securely, and peer to peer. With traditional finance, it doesn't work. There's too many intermediaries. There's delays in time. There's exuberant fees. There's not fair markets in the traditional markets because it's controlled by middlemen and middle markets, which deflate and manipulate the fair market aspect. It would not be possible without blockchain. Blockchain creates transparent, fair markets. Well, it gives you the opportunity to. Obviously, you can code in anything, right? You know, but if you want to, that's what it allows. So our whole thing is based on. If you look at our architecture, you go on our website, you go on our Medium, you read our light paper. We have built in and spent a lot of time building in whale protection, fair market, self-sustaining systems, and self-balancing systems through a lot of math, a lot of trial and error, and months of sitting there with teams on an Excel spreadsheet doing calculations and models, really, to create a fair self-balancing and safe system. It wouldn't be possible without that and blockchain to create a peer-to-peer network. That's the only reason why it's possible.
And because you just talked about the AnRKey token, right? So for the new people out there, like, why do you need a token in the sort of economy, or yeah, gaming economy that you're creating? And what are some of the benefits of it, as opposed to, like, I guess some other tokens that people are just like issuing, but you can't use them. So tell us a little bit about that, like what we can do with it.
There's a few aspects, but first of all, because our whole game and NFT economy is based on our derived base value, right? So those are fluctuating real-time variables across different calculations of token price, users being generated. Our games are DeFi, which actually you earn rewards, right? So without using a one token for that, you would not actually be able to calculate that model and have it sustainable. So that's an easy one. Secondly, we use it just like an arcade coin. So basically, in all our games, all our NFTs, everything is purchased with AnRX. It's the basis that it serves. It's the model that underpins the whole entire economics is our arcade coin. We have a heavy recycling mechanism and strategy within all our tokens, but it's a self-serving system, right? So just like when you go to an arcade, you go there and just like how you start our game by purchasing ANRX. And then you go on our arcades, right, on our GDEX, decentralized finance game platform exchange, and you start playing our games or buying our NFTs. So it's just like going to an arcade, you buy it, you get your tokens, you go and you start playing. At the end of the night, all the tokens that you paid in the game, right, from the arcade tokens, go into the store, go into the little like holder, right, the little tray, and are stored at each video game. At the end of the night, the guy walks around with his little key, pulls it out, unlocks it, pulls all the arcade coins back, and shoves it in the vault, right? That's what we do, and we recycle, and then we keep releasing it. That's how it's a self-sustaining model. But it's the basis of our whole gaming and DeFi gaming and NFT economy. Right now, we already have 12 utilities in it already. It's how you earn and spend. So you spend in multiple ways on purchasing from the in-game store, right? For just traditional, they're not even NFTs. They're just in-game items based on blockchain and yield generation. Multiple different types of gamified, weapon-based, or like exploding cases, like game case NFTs that generate yield in a different way. Purchasing those things. Also, how you generate. I mean, I can go down the list. Sorry, I'm just getting a little bit tired now. But yeah, we have 12 utilities. Check our website out, our architecture page. You'll see how you earn and spend 12 ways right now. Every game that we release that builds in more utility cases. We've already done 2 NFT gamified NFT pools as well, or not 5, and 2 kind of little mini product NFT pool games or whatever. And so right now we already have 2.8 million dollars in AnRKey staked for NFTs just in those 2, the Cyber Rampage pools and the Power Up staking charge-based pools. So everything is based upon the utility token. It's our arcade coin. That's what our gaming are. It's like you're welcome to the AnRKey X arcade. You got the Battle Wave 23 over here. You got the other little mini games here. You got the market where you can buy collectible NFTs that also can be used in the games. We got everything here. That's how it works.
Yeah, really appreciate you explaining that, because I think for like a lot of new people, they just see all these different types of tokens. They don't know that some people just buy, you can't really use, but some they're actually created as a part of the economy, or they could be as you're doing. To kind of end things off, I just want to give you opportunity to, like, if people do want to get involved, like today and all the stuff you're building in the future, like what website should they visit first? And yeah, how can people also get in touch with you if they just want to be involved in your
Yeah,
community?
Yeah, the easiest way is just go to our website because everything is there. All the links to all of our Telegram, our Discord, our Telegram news, Medium, everything is there. And as you can see, the logo right there, that is AnRKeyX.io, AnRKeyX.io. That's the same thing for our Twitter at AnRKeyX. You can find me on Twitter at JD Salbego, or you can just look at my official site, jdsalbego.com, and those are the easiest ways to get a hold of me or the company, join our community.
Yeah, awesome. JD, thank you so much for coming back on the Reimagine 2021 series. It was a pleasure having you. It was really awesome that, the last time we spoke to you, you're just sort of getting started off. And now you're like viral, and everyone's, hearing about all the great work that you all are doing. So really excited to, speak again in a couple of months and see where you're at. Thank you so much for being here today.
Right. Thanks for having me, man. It was a pleasure.
Thanks. And I'll let you all tune back into the conference. Thank you, everyone.